Okay, here we have a frequency table which tells us that for 60 cows, 10 cows had a weight between 100 and 200 kilograms, 16 cows were between 200 and 300 kilograms, and so on. Now, a cumulative frequency table just adds up as you go along, if you like. So how many cows had a weight between 100 and 200 kilograms? Well, that's obviously the same as in the column in the table above, so still 10. The next row, be careful, how many cows were between 100 and 300 kilograms? Well, in fact, that's all of these cows in the first two groups. In other words, there are 26 cows which are between 100 and 300 kilograms. Between 100 and 400, we're talking about all three of these. In other words, I do 26 plus 15, which is 41. How many cows up to 500 rather? Well, that's 41 plus the 9, which is 50. And then we have 56, so 50 plus the 6, and then 56 plus this 4 brings us up to our total of 60. Okay, what we're now going to do is plot the cumulative frequency graph. Okay, so I can just about see my table there. Okay, right. What we need to do, first of all, how many cows have a mass of less than 100? Well, we can plot a point here at 100, 0, because no cows have a mass of less than 100 kilograms. It helps here to think of the number of cows with a weight less than a particular value. These 10 cows all weigh less than 200 kilograms, so we plot here at 10. Okay, these 26 cows weigh less than 300 kilograms, so I'm going to plot there at 26, which I think is there. 41 cows have a mass of less than 400, so I'm going to do that there at 41. So 41 is actually going to be just half a square there, be careful, just like that. 50 cows less than 500, well, that's nice and easy, that's going to be there. 600 or 56 cows have a mass of less than 600, so there's 50, so 56 will be there. And all 60 cows have a mass of less than 700. What I now do is I join these points up with as smooth a curve as I can manage, easier for you than for me. Okay, and that's my cumulative frequency curve. So any point on my curve, so for example, if I wanted to find out how many cows had a mass of less than 450, I could go up to here and read off, and it would be about 44. Okay, the question though says, how many cows weigh more than 430 kilograms? Okay, so I'm going to find 430 kilograms, which is going to be here on this axis, and I'm going to draw a straight line upwards. In fact, let's use the straight line thing here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a straight line up to my curve, and then I'm going to draw another straight line across from there until I hit my axis, which tells me my number of cows. Now, be careful here. This means that, looking at the scale here, that's 50 cows here. Okay, in other words, about 44 cows. Now, this 44 means that 44 cows weigh less than 433 kilograms. I'm going to write 44 on there. If I want to work out how many cows weigh more than 430 kilograms, that's going to be these extra ones here. All of these cows weigh more than 430 kilograms. So if 44 weigh less, the difference between 44 and 60 is actually just 16. So it's about 16 cows. Okay, so 16 cows weigh more than 430 kilograms. In fact, the mark scheme would probably allow you, yeah, you would be allowed about 16.